fiery move. US President Donald Trump has slapped a 25% tariff on Indian goods. It's effective the 1st of August. He's calling India's trade barriers strenuous and obnoxious. Now, Trump has also announced an additional penalty targeting India's energy and defense ties with Russia. Now, despite praising PM Modi as a friend once again, Trump warned that New Delhi's high tariffs and BRICS alignment are in fact a threat to the American dollar. However, he has also hinted that talks remain underway. Meanwhile, India's Commerce Ministry says it's studying the impact and remains committed to a fair trade deal, as it has been consistently maintaining. Now, this escalation comes just weeks before US officials visit New Delhi for the next round of trade talks. Now, this report gets you more.
US President Donald Trump has said that Washington will impose a 25% tariff on all Indian exports to the US and a separate unspecified penalty, citing India's high trade barriers and continued purchases of oil and weapons from Russia. The tariffs are scheduled to take effect on August 1st, putting months of negotiations for a bilateral trade deal in jeopardy.
Prime Minister Modi is a friend of mine, but they don't do very much business in terms of business with us. They sell a lot to us, but we don't buy from them. You know why? Because the tariff is so high. They have one of the highest tariffs in the world. Now, they're willing to cut it very substantially, but we'll see what happens. We're talking to India now. We'll see what happens. It doesn't matter too much whether we have a deal or whether we charge them a certain tariff, but you'll know at the end of this week.
In another post, Trump stated, and I quote, "We have a massive trade deficit with India," unquote. Trump's move comes after a 90-day pause to negotiate individual deals, during which the US signed agreements with the UK, Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines and the European Union. India has pushed back. In a measured statement, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry said that the government is studying the implications of Trump's announcement and remains committed to securing a fair, balanced and mutually beneficial trade deal. Delhi also referenced India's recent comprehensive economic and trade agreement with the UK, underlining New Delhi's push for global trade partnerships on its own terms. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has repeatedly said that India will always prioritize its national interest and buy oil from whichever country offers the best price. With just a day to go for the August 1st deadline to expire, the world's two largest democracies are staring down a major trade rift. The question remains, can a trade deal still be salvaged in time? With Riddhima, Kedia, NDTV World.
Meanwhile, NDTV Profits Rishabh Bhatnagar unpacks what long-term impacts could these new tariffs have on India's trade balance and its resilience on US markets.
Right, clearly a negotiating tactic that was coming in from Trump, made very clear from his comments that came in late last night. He said that this 25% plus tariff is because of India's presence in the BRICS grouping, as well as the trade deficit that India has. And he is in talks with India right now to figure out what the final tariff will be. That is what Trump has said. He said that by the end of this week, it will be clear what sort of tariffs India will be paying. So clearly a negotiating tactic. These 25% plus tariffs plus a penalty are not the final tariffs that India will have to pay, given that both countries are now back on the negotiating table. But what we've seen from the Commerce Ministry coming in is the fact that they have taken receipt of this note of these tariffs that have come in by Trump. They've said that they are studying the implications and that they remain committed to a BTA that is scheduled for the October fall deadline of this year. They've also said that they will protect the welfare of various segments of the society, like farmers, entrepreneurs, MSMEs, and they've said that they will take all steps necessary to secure India's national interest. And also, given the fact that there was a lot of red lines that were drawn in the UK FTA as well, they've they've referred to that and said that they will take steps necessary to protect national interest, like it was with the UK FTA. So that is the statement that is coming in from the Commerce Ministry. But from various quarters of the industry as well as exporters, there are concerns around these very high tariffs. Firstly, on FICCI, FICCI has, which is an industry body, one of the leading industry bodies here in India. They've said that they're deeply disappointed with these 25% tariffs, and they've said that this will have, and they hope that this will be a short-term phenomenon.
Staying with the story now, after Trump threatened to in fact impose 25% tariff and penalty on Indian exports, domestic equity benchmarks are set to open deep in the red on Thursday, just hours from now. In fact, Trump's move also comes as a surprise as New Delhi and Washington were holding substantial talks on a potential trade deal, leaving industrialists and economists concerned alike. Now, we're joined by market expert Mithali Nikore. Mithali, thank you so much for taking the time. What are you picking up first and foremost, and how are Indian markets expected to react to this?
No, I think today when markets open, we will start to see the impact of this announcement. I do expect a reduction in the market of, anywhere between 0.1 to 0.3 basis points that should be coming in. Of course, today is not the final day because today we still have a day for negotiations. So we can still remain hopeful today. But if no deal comes through, then it will have a larger impact across markets, macroeconomically.
Well, thank you so much for unpacking the latest there, Mithali.